Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Gemini, tonight we have the Queen of Discs. Oh yes, she is very much the Earth Mama. I love this energy. As a Virgo, right? I love this energy. All right, there we go. And let's take a look and see what these tea leaves are going to show us tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. All right, here we go. So we have, it looks like a person right here. You can see the head. You can see kind of the form of the body, arm kind of reached out, holding on to, and it looks like, it looks like a possum to me, right? I'm like, who has a possum? But I'm thinking it's, it could be a possum, but I was thinking a dog. It seems more likely to be a dog. We also have what it looks like says, maybe C12. C12. And this one looks like it says X, EX, like an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, something like that. So we have this person who is holding this animal that looks like it's smiling. It looks happy, very happy. We have what looks like the very classic kind of character of a witch right over here. We have the number 3 next to a smiley face. So 3 will be a very lucky number for you. And then we have 1, 2 people, and you can see this one, they have an eye. Here's their mouth, it's like wide open. We have another person over here and they're chasing a deer. Here's the body, here's the head, and here are the antlers. Okay, so let's get into all this. We have a person who's holding this animal, and it looks like it really, it looks like it, how you would hold maybe like your little kitty cat, or well, maybe not so much a cat, but your little puppy, your little sweetums, your little furry animal, and yeah, and there's just seems to be a lot of love. Now it looks like it says I heart, right? I heart. And so I feel like this is kind of just a confirmation that either the animal companion you have now, or maybe it's one that passed away, it could have transcended already, that this is one of the great loves of your life. And I know the internet is a place where you either are super on board with that statement, like the love of your life is your cat, right? Or people are like, animals don't have feelings. Why would you call that your baby? There's a pretty big divide, right? I don't care. You know me. I have cats. I'm a cat lady through and through. So I'm going to say this could be the love of your life. One of them, right? This beautiful being, this partner, this it is. It's like waking up and you know that there's somebody home with you, right? I don't know. I always felt really, I always say, I lived alone for a long time. Well, that's not true because I was with my cats. And I know you're probably like, oh, poor Lenor, this poor lady. But no, it was a wonderful time to learn how to not only be alone, to love myself, but to be with these beings that they operate not just off of instinct or survival, but they do what benefits them. Now, sometimes they get themselves into trouble and they don't know any better, and yeah. But for the most part, you know, a cat is going to come in and tell you, I want to get pet. Come here. Let me sit on your lap. I'm going to make sure that you're giving me some love. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go do my thing. I'm going to use the cat box. I'm going to go have some water. You know, they are doing what they need to do. And to live and be with a being like that, I think is very beneficial if you have the opportunity. Now, not everybody has the opportunity to be around animals, and I recognize that. But I do feel like for you, you are a person that would really benefit from a relationship with an animal being. And it could be, as I said, one that has transitioned, and maybe one that you are missing, especially with the holidays coming up. There are a lot of different holidays happening, a lot of things to celebrate, but this is a time where we also kind of, you know, we lament those who have gone before us. We miss the way things used to be. We miss our little babies. We miss them in their cute little, you know, Christmas or Hanukkah sweaters, or, you know, whatever else you're going to dress your animals up for. You know, and so that's understandable. It is, you know, and for me, when I get into these places where I am missing somebody, or, you know, one of my beloveds transitioned 4 years ago. He was an orange tabby cat, and his name was Guido, and I did not name him. I think my roommates, my first husband or my roommates did, I can't remember, but his name was Guido, and he was one of the great loves of my life, and he passed away right after my daughter was born. He held on. He was old, and he held on until a couple months after she was born, and that was so special to me. Even my daughter, she still talks about him. She doesn't remember him, but she's seen pictures and stuff. And you know, when that comes up in my mind, and it, you know, and it hurts, and it's like I miss this little baby so much. You know, this is the time to honor them. You know, I mean, that's how I deal with missing those who have gone before me. I honor them with altars. I might write about them. I might, you know, make some kind of artwork. I might just go outside and tell a tree about them, you know, whoever will listen. And I think it's important. It's, you know, so often we have these moments where it just comes up in us, and it's like, I miss my mom. I miss the way that she used to cook for dinner, you know, for dinner for Christmas, or you know, one of the holidays. And it's almost debilitating when that, you know, it takes hold of your heart, of your mind, and you know, I don't know. I just have always found that being proactive when that happens, when that feeling really takes over, that's when I know I need to push myself into action. Because if I do something physical, in the physical, where I move my body, I create something, I can see it, I can hold it, I can hear it. It's a purging, right? And then honoring. Purging of the negative parts of it, but honoring those parts that are so beloved and sacred. Okay. So maybe something like this for you. Maybe it is something that, you know, to honor, and even if they are still around, right? And they're sitting right there on your lap as you're listening to this. Also a good time to honor them. You know, take a nice picture of the two of you. Put it on the mantle, or whatever. Put it on, you know, your holiday cards. But yeah, I feel like this is a big thing. Now, we also have the people who are chasing the deer. We also have the witch over here. So I get the feeling that There are times when you have maybe questioned your spirituality or the practices. Maybe you kind of vacillate between really not knowing, like, do I believe in anything at all? Or, you know, the things that I have discovered that feel meaningful to me, like, you know, is this all real, or does it actually mean anything, or, you know, whatever. And I think that's super normal for anybody. If you are a person that, you know, partakes in religion and spirituality, magic, the occult, whatever. I feel like anybody who devotes their life to these practices, or even schools of thought, actively or inactively, yeah, you are going to have moments where it's like, what am I doing? Or what does this mean? Or, you know, what does, you know, what does this have to do with my life right now? How can I take this information and use it in a way that is practical for my life that I'm actually living? And if I can't figure that out, does it mean anything? Right? And so I feel like you're in a place where it's not, I don't feel like it's like a crisis of faith or spirituality or anything like that, but I do feel like you are in a very introspective, you are, you know, yeah, analyzing some of this stuff, figuring out like what works for me and what does not, right? And I fully subscribe to the idea that each of our beliefs, each of our understandings of the world, of our spirituality, religion, metaphysics, whatever, just how the world is or works or is, you know, put together. All of these things are very individual, but they're also very changing and shifting. You know, it is as alive as anything else, but also they do not need to be prescribed. Right? And what does that mean? It doesn't have to be like, okay, so this one part of this religion, right? This tenet or mythology or, you know, whatever, parable or whatever it is, one little fragment of the saying, this makes sense. The rest of it, not so much my cup of tea, right? So you take that and then you find something another place and it might be more, it might be less, whatever. And you take that into yourself as well. And over time, it is a composite. I mean, it's like a quilt. It's like a fractal universe. It is you know, like what is that called? Like an assemblage piece, right? And that is the beauty of life. That is the beauty of our individuality. That is the beauty of the experience of being a spiritual being. We get to create it. We get to do it. We are the artist. We are the magician. We are the architect, right? And so I feel you really, really chasing after this. And the deer, by the way, the stag especially, is an image, a symbol in my mind, right? And this is kind of, this is taken from kind of the Castaneda school of thought, among other traditions. But the deer is the most sacred symbol. And when we are confronted with the imagery of the deer in our spiritual work, we know that we are coming upon a very important moment in our spiritual evolution. So when those deer start to show up, you know something is happening. Something is happening inside of you. Something is happening all around you. And this is a moment for you to really kind of decide, where do I go next? Where do I want to look next? Where do I want to travel to? What kind of pilgrimage am I on? You know? And so that's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful, wonderful gift. And now we also have the little witch up here. So I do wonder if there is maybe some attraction to magic, right? What would be considered usually low magic or folk magic. And you can go look that up. I don't like the idea of like high magic and low magic. I feel like it's like, I mean, it's almost kind of like classist. It's like these very bougie, you know, ceremonial magicians, all of their highfalutin magic and all that. And then, oh yeah, the witches with their low, you know, their low physical doings and their sympathetic magic and herbal magic and, you know, whatever. I don't like that. I'm always just kind of like, I don't know how that sounds really. But, you know, so I feel like maybe you are drawn to maybe divination. Maybe it is something like sympathetic magic, fetish as far as magic, not the other thing. Although you know, no judgment, obviously. Yeah, so I could see you kind of like really partaking or at least having the interest in maybe starting up your own practices. And I'm here for it. Absolutely. I will cheer you on. And if you want to talk about some of that stuff in the comments, please let me know. What are you into? What are you doing? You know, what kind of magic are you interested in? What are you partaking in? You know, maybe you belong to an order, or you even, you know, are kind of the leader of some kind of coven or something. I am so interested. I love hearing about people's experiences. So please feel free to tell us all about it. Okay, so now we're going to look over here. We have a little angel. We have all this stress down here. It feels like so much, but it's passing. It's passing. And I feel like you're going to be getting some help. Okay, where you have been feeling like I have to take everything on. It's like the world on my shoulders, right? And you just are getting into places where almost kind of on the verge of having a little bit of a freak out. I feel like somebody is going to be like coming to save the day, right? Or at least helping. So maybe it is you're hosting some events or, you know, family gatherings or whatever. And I could see like a family member, a sister, your dad, your oldest son and his wife or whatever, coming over and helping do the dang thing, because it's a lot, right? It's so much. And if it's not a holiday thing, you know, maybe it's just like some kind of event, something that you're putting on. You know, maybe you're working on the house, or you have a million different things to do and you need some help, and, you know, whatever it is. I feel like this is going to be silenced really quickly, that anxiety, okay? And I feel like you're going to start to see the clear path through. Like, how are we going to get this done? Let's make a plan. Stick to the plan. Everybody kind of does their part, and it is all beautiful. It is wonderful. You can put a little bow on top of it. All good, right? So let's go over here. We're going to do our lucky numbers. Number 8. That one barely rolled. Number 8. Number 8. 63, 8, 63, and 52. And 52. All right, we also have our Mary Magdalene Oracle cards, and I'm just gonna flip through. We'll pick one, and it will kind of punctuate the reading. It'll be a nice way to kind of outro the thing. Okay, and Ascension. Farther up is further in. Farther up is further in. All right. Gemini, I love you, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you would like to leave a message a comment. Yeah, I was like, what is the word? A comment in the comment section. Yes, please do. I want to hear from everybody. I love hearing about whatever. I don't care if it's your day, how you relate to the reading, you know, what you're going to have for dinner, you know, I don't know. Just speak it out. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah. So again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk soon. Stay warm if you're in the northern hemisphere. And don't get overheated down there. I know it's getting so hot. I saw in the news, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like snowing here. And it is very hot down yonder. Is it down under? Down under? All right. Good night.